wants to kidnap me, all they need to do is just buy me food.
No, don't say those kind of things on camera. Maybe someone will try that.
Today we have with us India's most respected homegrown FMCG entrepreneur and the chairman, managing director of Copycat. Among Indian entrepreneurs, he's famously described as the man who put quality within everyone's reach. Our guest today didn't just build a company, he changed the way India consumes. From 1 rupee shampoo sachets to global FMCG powerhouse, please welcome Mr. C.K. Ranganathan. Thank you for being with us, Mama. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much,
pleasure,
Uncle.
my pleasure. Thanks.
Means a lot that you could make it to our podcast and that we could sit down and have this conversation with you.
Thank you.
So I know I'm going to dive right into it. We did our own research on you and we were always in awe every time we were doing that. But halfway through that, I realized I had to ask this question to you. We've learned that you're extremely disciplined, that you're very process driven, that you're very risk aware and not risk averse. And that you really believe in long-term brand building and you do not believe in shortcuts at all. But before any of this began, before you became this global icon that you are, when you were 25, what was the dream? Or who were you really before you began this journey?
I just wanted to survive. I was a challenger. I challenged my own brothers.
Right.
I came out of house and wanting to prove that I can stand on my own legs.
Right.
That was, I never had a big dream at that time.
Okay.
So just wanting to prove my point that I can stand on my own
That you
legs.
can be independent.
That's correct.
So you just wanting to survive has gotten you to this place where you're not just surviving, you're thriving and you're inspiring so many of us today.
Yes, for sure. But when you came out like that, Mama, when you came out of your house to challenge everyone, did you have self-doubts? What were your thoughts like at that time? Like, how was it to be you when you came out and how did you see the world at that time?
I was more driven by inferiority complex at that time, honestly.
That's a very honest way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, not many people would actually come out and say that in a position like you, but like, to come and say that out that you had to do it that way.
Yeah, that's correct. It was an initial stage. I was frank. I know that I was not well prepared to succeed,
Okay.
but I was ready to put the hard work,
Yes.
whatever required.
Yes.
I only asked, because one thing, what is required to succeed? I am ready to put the efforts required for that.
Yes.
The very important change happened in my life was when my father died.
Okay.
Until such time, all my life decisions was taken by my dad. So at that point of time, when he died, I took a very important call. This is my life. I will take all my call.
Yes.
I'm not going to blame my past, my parents, my education. I will own up anything. So that was a very important thing.
Accountability.
So very important thing. So I took the locus of control within myself, not giving it to my elder brothers, not to my mother.
Okay.
So that was, I think, very important shift that made. I became a rebel from my mother and my brother's point of view. Because so far I was just, whatever they said, I was listening to.
Okay.
That time onwards I said no. And that time onwards I started thinking also. So that is a very important thing. So from a very inferiority complex driven person, I started becoming more self-aware, started wanting to learn, wanting to read, wanting to think. Till such time when I passed out of college, when I was in college, second year, my father died of heart attack.
Okay.
So I had, when I passed out of college, passed means completed third year, I had 28 arrears.
No, we
Yeah.
don't believe that.
Yeah, that's a reality.
Okay.
This
Every
must
time
be
in
giving
schools-
hope to a lot of people
Yeah.
watching this.
Every time in school, I think I always used to kind of think border mass 40, 41. I never have gone anything beyond that kind of thing. Border mass. A lot of time I think the teachers would have said, okay, kind of this thing, power this guy, let him get this thing, get through. So like that, I think I got this thing escaped through every time. I failed in 4th standard. But I think all these things, that is how I was always academically poor. My brothers they studied English, I studied in Tamil medium throughout. All these things drove me a kind of inferiority complex person. But after joining business, in the family business, my brothers were they were running the show after my father's demise. That was a story by itself. My father borrowed a loan of 2 lakhs from State Bank of India. My elder brother was a doctor, just started practicing. The next elder brother was a lawyer. He also started practicing. So they wanted to close down the business because none of us knew the intricacies of business. So, okay, we'll close down and we'll look at our own way. Approached the bankers. Bankers said, fine, close down, but we have to record the dues you pay, or else your house is pledged. That's the only property the family had. So we have to take over the house and auction it. And I think that's the pride of the family. You knew nobody wanting to get looked down in the society. So he said, okay, we'll run the business. So they started, they quit their kind of profession and took the business. They took it to greater height, of course, to their credit. I joined after college. With arrears I joined. After 2 years I cleared the arrears. Somehow I think with attempts, 3-4 attempts I cleared it. But one good thing is, what I would say is, after 3-4 months of joining, I said, hey, business is not rocket science, it's common sense. So that gave me confidence. Just after all, common sense. So that I think make me to feel more confident. And that gave me also the confidence slightly, I would say, bordered on arrogance at that time.
I think you need to have a little bit of that as well, no?
Maybe that what happened, that I started challenging my brothers.
Okay.
So you know that Hindu hierarchy, that you have to toe the line, elders, kind of this thing. I said, no, it's wrong, I don't agree with that, kind of this thing. So that way I think it became, sometime it was not easy to kind of this thing, even having a food across the table. So that kind of a thing, I said, it's not good to stay in the same home. I said, I'll walk out.
Yes.
So we used to take 2,000 rupees salary per month. I saved 15,000 rupees, walked out of home, said, okay, I will stand on my own.
That's an
That's
amazing.
That is a saying in Tamil, Eli valaya andalum, thani valai venum.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
But today, this is exactly what I want our listeners to have a takeaway from you, Mama. The Gen Z especially. And we are in an era where people are building brands. They are making business. Every other person. The youngsters especially, they have big ideas. But in your experience, in growing this, becoming this global powerhouse, what are the patterns that you have seen time and again that has worked and that has not worked in all these years? So I want a lot of takeaway for our listeners today, and I want to pick your brain on that same note.
And before that, I would say that one of the important things when I moved out of my home, I was driving a car. Okay.
Wow.
So I was ready to move into a bicycle.
Right.
Okay.
That came up in the research when we did it on you. Yeah.
A lot of friends and well-wishers, relatives also advised, why the hell you are doing? Get along with brothers and kind of this thing. So go. I said, no, nothing doing. I was ready to face the world. It was no shame for me because it's not I said my self-worth is driven more by what I believe about myself, not what others think about whether I drive in a car or go in a cycle, it doesn't matter. But I think I'm happy because that confidence has driven me thus far, and that's very important, is what I would say. So coming back to the brand building aspect of it, the first fundamental thing I would say is understanding the consumer's need is a very fundamental thing. If you are getting connected with the consumer and what they really need and making a commercial sense out of it, it's a win-win. What consumer need, whether it can work for you and for them, striking a win-win deal is what it makes. But of course there is also in between a lot of players, stakeholders. Like there is a retailer, there is the distributor. So we need to make everybody this makes a sense. The consumer may win, the company may win, okay, but the retailer may not win. Will say, no, I will not encourage you. You failed there.
Right.
Okay. So the retailer may win, consumer may win, company may win, and the distributor will say, no, I don't make enough money, I will not take it to the retailer. So you need to take care of the entire chain in terms of that. Sometimes all the four stakeholders win, but the employees of the company don't win, you lose. I'll tell you it's very important thing. Companies, for example, I get along and a lot of people I meet, they say, a lot of attrition. Down the line, the frontline salesman, I face heavy attrition kind of people, don't stay. So invariably, that's one thing that people look at that as to why everything is right. I have a great product, but my salesman is not sticking. So you ask them, what is the salary you give? So say, everybody gives about, say, for example, is 17,000, 18,000. I also pay the same thing. So what is the best company pay? They pay about 22,000. So where do your salesmen go? They go and join them. So why? What stops you from doing? No, I think I'm getting at this level. I'm happy with that. So you are at a lower level. You are getting people at 18, 17. You train them. You lose them.
Right.
Okay.
So if you don't want to go, you pay the best paymaster.
Right.
So it's very important. The person who brings you the sales, you need to ensure that you pay the best. And that very simple common sense people miss. And they kind of learn. They make all others win and they miss here. They continue to be kind of this thing. I've seen this kind of thing in terms of brand building efforts.
Yeah.
Great brands, great product, everything is missed. So coming back on the brands, I would say that is product should be, I have a simple rule of winning. Product has to be significantly better than competition. We have our own rule in our company. It has to be a 2-point beater over competition on a 10-point scale.
Okay.
So it's very important on a blind this thing. So it's a very important on a 10-point scale, 2-point beater. Then, or it has to be significantly differentiated product. Significantly differentiated product will not only have 2-point beater, it might have a 4-point or 5-point beater also. A deadly combination is significantly different and beyond 2-point beater. Okay, it's easy to win.
Right.
So that's why we don't compromise on product quality, because that's the first thing that you go to the market and win. The next one we say that packaging as a salesman. So you know in Tamil we say all padi, ade padi. The 50% is saying person is judged. Is always saying don't judge the cover of book by its cover.
Yeah.
Okay. The same way if you look at don't judge the person by the way one dresses. So I think it's important to say that whether you say everything like that, the product packaging.
Yeah.
People every time you judge the packaging quality of the product, you get trust of the product or this thing you get by seeing at the packaging. So the value of the product, everything is at wow, that's very good, nice packaging. Therefore, it should be good.
True.
I think you and me are not an exception.
That's
However
true,
much
true,
you talk.
Definitely not. Yes. பார்க்க நல்லா இருக்கு.
பார்க்க நல்லா இருக்கு.
Yeah, definitely.
If it is very bad, then you say that okay, not good. Yeah, it's not. Maybe really good product will be there.
Yeah.
So the key point is that packaging is also, we say that on a 10-point, can it be a 2-point beater? 10-point scale.
Yeah.
On a benchmark competition.
Yeah.
We will say, who is my enemy to beat? We don't beat everybody kind of thing. We will say, if this is a product, this is my enemy. So then you don't call everybody as an enemy. Then it is like, you know that in the National Geographic channel you can see, A lion, when it wants to hunt, it sees a deer.
Yeah.
It will go only hunt for the deer. There are so many things will be nearby. It will miss everything. It will not go behind many things. It will only go behind.
Have your mark.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The same thing, it is very important.
Yeah.
You need to have that, who is your competition, just go behind that. That's very important. Brand building, simplicity gets results. Okay? This is very basic. You should not complicate. Consumers are not complicated.
No, this
Okay.
is news to us today. Yeah.
They are very simple. If I am going to buy something, you are going to buy a car.
Yeah.
Are you look at 10 different things to decide? Okay?
Not really.
You will look at that, what is the kind of this thing? It depends on. If you are having a lot of money, you look at the comfort. If somebody is having kind of this thing very important, that's a first time car or second kind of this thing, upgradation, a 10 lakh car, what is the mileage? Okay, there are some minimum feature, there are maintenance costs and few things they will look at. Those top 2 or 3 features, there's very important key decision points. You need to beat competition on that squarely. The 2-point beater cannot be on power with the child window, child lock and all those things. No, who bothers that? You have to beat where like the Maruti bit ambassador on mileage squarely, on price point. Are you beating it?
Right.
And that's a classic example.
Right.
So you need to know what are the critical points on which a consumer is deciding to buy a brand, beat it squarely on that. So
Right.
don't go everywhere and hunt.
Right. So be more focused when you're trying to build a business, brand or anything.
Yes.
But
No, that parameter is important.
right.
So that you need to know that if I am to do Maruti bet ambassador on price, as ambassador was available at 4 lakhs, this guy is getting introduced at 1.5 lakhs or something like that at that price point. Okay, and mileage, this was giving around 8 or 9. They were introducing, they were giving around 27, 28 kind of thing, or 18, 20 even if you keep it significantly higher. Okay,
Right.
the same 4 people can travel. The ambassador can even accommodate 6. Who bothers? 4 is sufficient.
Yeah.
A biker can upgrade. So that's good. That's far more sufficient. Suddenly the whole thing, ambassador became bankrupt.
Right.
So this is what it is. You need to know which parameter will significantly swing the customer to my side. Every product has like that.
Right.
If you want a kind of this thing, if the same thing, if you go to a higher end thing, like a Louis Vuitton, what is the style quotient? What does it state? This is making a statement about a person.
Right.
Are you really making that very well?
True.
It's very important.
Right.
So you need to make that kind of a thing, then you are winning.
Yeah, thank you for that, Uncle. But then I'm still stuck in your personal story where you said, one fine day I just decided to walk out and build my life my way because it is my life and I wanted to take reins of it. I'm sure when you were in a situation like that, a lot would have been playing in your head, and I'm sure you would have had a lot of challenges. Like you said, you had to give up on a lot to kind of build this when you chose this path, especially in a time like that. And when you started off from the scratch, from ground zero, how was it? How did you recognize who your audience is, or how did you come to understand what it is that you wanted to build, or who exactly audience is? Because I think right now that's something that most of the business people who are just starting off, they struggle with, kind of knowing who their audience is. Because even if they know what they want to build,
That's more. Yeah.
know who their customers are and audience. Because even now for ourselves, when we are trying to build this brand, when we thought of, okay, who is our audience, we just had one simple thing in mind. Okay, what is it that people like us would want to watch? What kind of conversations would you want to listen to, or would you want to tune into? It shouldn't just be mindless chatter. It should be something that everybody can take away from. It should be the kind of conversation that makes a listener feel 1% better. So that's something that we were very particular about. But of course, this is just very minuscule in comparison to the empire that you have built. But day one, when you said, okay, I'm going to do this by myself, how did you figure out who your audience is?
Initially when I looked at that, I don't want to do family business.
Okay.
I said, let me do something else. So I was very fascinated by pets.
Right.
So I wanted to do poultry or anything. As a child, I was very fascinated by that, going behind the pets, That's why I scored less marks. And I think there is a big benefit I got, I can tell you, because that's a big benefit I got as a businessman when I turned out to be. One of the biggest benefit I got is when I sat in the class, when the teacher teaches, when taught everything, the lesson teacher used to kind of this thing, the professors in the college, I listen to. I pretend as if I sit very comfortably in the back bench and dream on my own dream. I used to have a lot of pigeons, aquarium color fishes, the various varieties of hens, and so many other pets. Okay. So I will think which color of pigeon I will pair with what color I will get, how will I build the brand. So the dreaming world, what I build kind of thing. I had only about 6-7 pairs of pigeon, but that dream led to building a kind of, my father had a big tank, okay, kind of for one of the business he built a tank, cement tank, that became damaged. So it is a kind of this thing, 4 feet height and 20 feet length and 10 feet breadth. So that tank, I took control of that, started building inside, and built another 4 feet height on that.
Wow.
Mason work, and built a kind of this thing, built it as a kind of house, and started bringing this thing pigeons one by one, and over a period of time I had over 500 pigeons.
Wow.
So a lot of packet money.
That's a lot.
And when I was at 5th standard.
Oh my God.
Nice. That is so interesting, Uncle.
So that was a kind of, because dreaming,
Right.
power of dreaming. I learned the power of dreaming. Even today, that's my strength. The power of visualization is my strength. So that I think is a very important thing that I learned very early. And so what I would say that is, one by one it became, when I started off, I said, okay, let me do something else other than my family business. Then space, what I had, money was not sufficient. I went to a just 200 meters away, a rented place which is about 250 square feet building, office cum residence. So there I don't think I can have any pets and kind of thing. So I said, okay, I knew only shampoo making, let me start doing it.
Right.
So then I became a copycat.
Right.
Okay. So started doing the kind of thing. I just nomenclature wise differentiated variants. They had a anti-dandruff variant by name Doctor. I called it tonic.
Right.
Okay. So they had a herbal variant called henna. I called it henna. They had a lemon variant. I called it lime. Okay. So I called it as an innovation. I went on to sell to the outlet. I went as a salesman myself because I can't afford to hire salesmen initially. So I sold, it's a very innovative product and all. One of the retailers said, brother, that there's a limit up to which you can kind of exaggerate. You are a pure copycat. So I said, okay, that was like somebody slapping me.
Yeah.
And I went back and thought on that. Then I said, it was not easy to digest that, but I realized that it's the truth. Then I started seriously thinking that I need to differentiate.
Yeah.
I need to really understand. And that's when I think I started going into meeting the customers more. And I went more rural initially. So for meeting the customer, I used to wear Kylie, kind of the thing, very ordinary, Hawaii chapel, like the way the villagers will look. You go and meet in the local language, it's easy, they discuss with you more.
Right.
So that's how I started kind of this thing doing it. So the shampoos used to be available at 1 rupee. So I started initially putting it at, it was 75 paise, I put it at 90 paise, thinking that it will work. It didn't. Quickly I reverted back to 75. The shampoo prices moved on to over a period of time due to inflation, moved to 1 rupee. And one of my visits to villages, the penetration level of shampoo was not still great. A lot of people were still using soaps.
Right.
So I was interacting with a lot of women and also men as to why they are not shifting to shampoos. Because I use soap, cost nothing. So this I have to spend 1 rupee here. So why should I kind of this thing shift? This is still it's money for me. So I asked them, what if it is available at 50 paise? 50 paise? So that made them to think. Then that made me to also say, okay, there is something, if I introduce 50 paise, it is possible. And at the time we had, the whole company was standing on 1 rupee shampoo for us. We introduced a 1 rupee 50 paise shampoo. We were doing 27 crores turnover that year. Okay, the whole marketing team was against and said this is a very disaster move. We will be making it because when we introduce it, turnover will drop, and it will be also our profitability will drop. We introduced because my gut says I can drive more, I can sell more. But also very cleverly, because I started formulating also. I was a chemistry graduate. So I shrunk the size of packaging. I shrunk because still it's a one wash promise. Still they can make it one wash. Shampoo used to be 8 ml, I made it 4 ml.
Right.
But removed the water out, the freight, the transportation cost is lesser, all these things and all. But still it can promise one wash we can give. So gave it. 54, there is 27 crores turnover, became 54 crores that year.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
So
amazing.
no looking back kind of thing. Within the next few years it started, every year we started doubling. That kind of thing. That's an insight, consumer insight we picked up kind of thing. This is what I would say.
Right.
So in a time when you had the opportunity to go meet the consumers, you met them, you did your R&D, so you went with your gut feeling. You knew this was going to work, you interacted and all of that, and you took that bet, and the story pans out as it did. But in today's generation, where we are not like how the Westerners are, where they actually start an Instagram page, a social media page, they build their audience, they bring their brand there, and then they start a brand. So you already have an audience there, and then they introduce that they are going to build a brand, and it kind of becomes a success over there. How would you guide? So if you ask me, I would still say this the old way always works, where you're there on your field, you do your research, and that's how you know that there is a personal touch to it. Maybe that's, can we say, was one of the reasons why your gut feeling did work. You did the work over there, the field work over there. But in today's generation, when they just sit in social media and build an audience and build a brand, what is this, how do they succeed in something like that?
I think it's important that you need to look at the social media. The customer comments you need to very carefully look at.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So that is very important thing.
Yes.
That I think the customers will make a remarks.
Yes.
The rating tells your story. Okay.
That's true.
Of course.
So for example, somebody is rated at 4.2. So if you very closely look at the pattern of rating, 35% of the people have rated you at 3 or 2.5.
Yeah.
10% rated you at 1. Okay. And a lot of people rated you at 4.8 or 5, kind of this thing. So that means is a clearly look at some portion of that is getting polarized to lower level. And why are they getting disappointed? And what are the comments they are telling? Go and correct it.
Yeah.
Then you will push the ratings to next level. A lot of people are getting contented at 4.2, 4. I'm happy kind of thing. So instead go and ask, deep dive, because it's important. And we also look at that. That's why we drive traffic to our own sites. Try to establish connection with the customer and talk to them, meet them, kind of this thing, and see what is that we can do. What is the kind of this thing. More you understand the kind of this thing, have connections with the customer, it is much better. My dream, if that's what I've been telling my team, to have 1 million direct consumer connections through CRM.
Right.
So that we have that kind of thing and able to contact any customer. Okay, this okay. Chick shampoo means I have 1 lakh customer. Meera means 1 lakh customer. Meera shampoo. I have Indica hair color means like that. Kavin's milkshake means we have like that. So we should have like that kind of thing. So it's easy to kind of this thing.
That's true. I'm so glad you brought, sorry Uncle, did I cut you?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up the different brands that you have built, because that's something that I wanted to talk about next. You started off with shampoo, but over the over the many years, you've kind of branched out into different businesses, different fields, and not just shampoo. You have you made beauty like salon accessible. You have Green Trends, Limelight, you have Kevin's Milkshake, and there are so many products and businesses that you do. So when did you branch out, or when did you decide to branch out into different things? That said, what is the, how does one decide, okay, this is when I need to branch out? Because to be honest, when we started out this podcast, or even before we started it off, I was always clear that this shouldn't just be a podcast. Eventually, I wanted Nisha and I to kind of branch out into different things through Two Peas in a Pod. Something even small as having our own merchandise someday, having an experience someday with our audience, something like that. But small dreams, but I know that that's what we want to do in the long run. So when it comes to you, you have built this empire and it stands on so many different pillars and it stands strong. So how did you decide to branch out, and when would be the right time to do so?
There's a concept called I created a kind of curvature of an entrepreneur's evolution curve.
Okay.
The 6 stages of an entrepreneur's evolution curve.
Tell us all about it.
Yes,
we are all
we are
ears.
listening.
We are listening because we want our young entrepreneurs and for us to take notes too.
Yeah.
Okay. The startup hustler, struggling to survive. Okay. So that's the startup. So they know they are every day, will I survive or not? That's the struggle they go through. Okay. That's the first stage 1. The next one is the survivalist. Okay. So that stage they kind of I talk about this. This is I have also, it's my own study. This is how this thing and all. So therefore I mapped this kind of 6 stages of that. So the next stage is the survivalist. It is the business started running. Enough profits is there to survive and to take care of family and self. So the danger is complacency, getting happy and staying at that level. Some people say, so for example, typically somebody runs a shop. They open, go in the morning, till night, late night, they will be staying there and come back. I'm making 3-4 lakhs, happy kind of thing, paying rent, family and all kind of thing, but busy working the day, come back and this thing. I can't delegate because I have to be there, the kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
Then it'll be a kind of the thing. So that is a survivalist mode. Then it is the next stage is the growth architect. Okay. So that is where it is very important is the shift has to happen. This is what is very important is they are working in the business to working on the survivalist working in the business. It is I am the cook. I only cook on the kind of thing. If I'm a restaurant come 2 tables kind of thing, I cook and I myself go and serve. Okay. So that's the stage. Okay. Then it is working on the businesses. I have people, everything. I sit and do that. So that is where the kind of thing. So business started kicking in, enough profits coming. Okay. Systems, processes are important. I can hire people. I can set it done, kind of this thing. So that is when I think it's very important. You move to the next stage, the 3rd stage. So when you succeed there, then you go to the 4th stage. Okay. The 4th stage is where it is you are looking at it. You are building the growth architect.
Okay.
So kind of thing. So you go to the next stage. You build that to kind of thing very clearly, a very well settled. Business can run even when you are away for 15-20 days. 1 month you can away. Business there are people can take care of. You can do that, no issues. 1 month I am away, business can run as usual. That's the next signal. Okay. Then the 5th stage is serial entrepreneur. So once I have learned the art of, I don't need to be there, people can do, I can delegate, I know that kind of thing, manage things, I can create another business.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now when
Yeah,
you
now
move to
I'm
that
on
stage, you
stage.
can create the one.
Okay.
The last one is the legacy builder.
Yeah.
So now that I made enough money, then you can say that, okay, how do I give it back? So people start looking at, it is now profits are coming, business is coming, it's a platform for others to grow.
Right.
People can make use of that. People who join, they grow and kind of this thing. But I want to also look at how I can be remembered.
Right.
So that's when the legacy building happens. That's when if you look at, a lot of people started giving a lot of foundations and
Yes.
giving back and kind of this thing. Beyond the level, what profits, what are you going to do taking back?
Yeah.
So you want to be giving back to the society because you grew from the society. Also, it is important that you give back to the society.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Which you also so rightly do, because every year we get the invitation, the
For
Kevin
the
Care
awards.
Yeah, that's correct.
Ability Foundation Awards. So we are so happy to know that you've actually reached, of course, everybody knows you've reached the 6th stage, but the fact that you say that's important, I think
To give
that's
back.
something that all of us need to listen and kind of remember as we start building our business as well. So thank you so much for that, Uncle.
My pleasure.
But before we move on to the next part, I know you told that as a hustler, you need to be, the hustle is there. That's the first stage. So for all of our young entrepreneurs, what is the one thing? So what they do not see is how before you got to the hustle, you've dissected it into 6 parts to where you got here, the person who's giving back to the community. But all they see is the person who's giving back to the community, the young entrepreneurs, the Gen Zs, the brand owners, all of them. But they do not know that how giants like you who have built it from scratch have faced failures repeatedly, and how you've grown resilient towards failure. Today's social media branding or building a brand, they all get to see the glamorous part of the brand. How well we have made it or how well we are making it. Like now we are starting out, but the way the production value or anything, but the hustle that comes with it, the failure that comes with it, nobody talks about that kind of failure. But one thing is you have to dissect. How do you dissect failure? What has failure taught you? And what do people need to take from every step they take? If say you've taken 5 steps, you fail at 2. Some people just give up immediately. They're like, okay, I have tried, that's it, I'm going to give up. But you did not have a choice. You had something to prove. So that kept you going. The motive and that passion kept you going. So what do you have to say for our listeners, how to dissect that failure? What do you need to learn from that failure, Mama?
If you look at your, one of the ways, if you look at the hustler's biggest weakness is running away from problems. Okay. Failure to face fear.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are boldly facing fear, it goes. You are avoiding fear, it grows.
Yes.
So that's very fundamentally, if you look at that, one need to look at that as to deep dive. The hustler's biggest strength has to come from the grit, the determination. It's not the investment at all.
Yeah.
It's the mindset, the resilience. I can fall, but I will quickly get up. So that's very important. If you are kind of this thing, leaving it, okay, I'm ready to kind of, because half the time what happens, the startup, the mindset will be, can I go back to job? The mindset will be like that. So what else is the option? If you start keeping that door open, your mind will constantly tell you, jump and run away. And family will be one more haunting. Why you are doing this? Right? Better go to job. Okay, friends, well-wishers, you are struggling. Whenever you fail, you kind of think. You may require money. You go and ask them. They'll say, I told you, no, why you are kind of this thing doing this. So you need to fight all these kind of things. But only thing that requires grit and determination. I can and I will. And that's very, very important. And one of the best ways out is, I have seen in my life, if you look at that, is deep dive. What is that it is? If you deep dive into problems, the solutions will come. If you scratch it at a surface level, you won't be able to get any great solution. One. And another thing that worked for me is, what is the worst thing that can happen? Okay? Talaya poidum. So
Correct.
I think it's very important if you look at that. Worst things, if you are ready to face the worst thing, This is what is the best thing, the worst thing that can happen. No? Even in the startup, if you look at, okay, fail. I will go and say that I am a failure, it's okay, fail. But failure is not fatal, yeah, come on. It's a
Take
stepping stone for
ownership.
me. It's okay, fine.
Yes.
That doesn't mean I will start another business. I am ready to do that. But having said that, I am not afraid of failure. I will not now find out ways to come out of this.
Yeah.
I will succeed.
Yes.
But I am ready to face the worst. And that's a mindset, is what I would say, which is very, very important. So running away from problem is one of the biggest problem of a lot of entrepreneurs, and they fail. And keeping one door open to run away is another problem. Okay.
You think I don't have
Yeah,
options, I
that's
have to
true.
win
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And
Yes.
when the door is open, the other side of the door, family members, friends will shout, come on, come out, come out. So you'll kind of, the thing will do that.
Yeah.
So those things I think you should not, you should become a dumb fellow
Yeah.
at that
True,
time.
true,
So
true.
you need to behave dumb at times.
Yes, you put it so beautifully for us.
That is true. But I'm sure, Uncle, that you have gone through your own experiences and you've come to this stage of saying, okay, this is what I've done and that's what will help you. And we are so lucky to have people like you that we can sit down and have conversations with and kind of draw inspiration from, draw lessons from, and see, okay, this is how we need to do things. But when doing this, did you have any mentors at all? Now that you say there are so many people on the other side of the door.
You yourself have been mentor
Yes.
to some of the big giants who are right
That is
now sitting.
true.
I know so.
That is
Because my
true.
own son, his dad, when my little ones had a play date, they told, oh yeah, next episode is with him. My husband interned with him. I was like, oh really, that's amazing. And to think that you have been mentors to, and when we spoke about
Yeah.
your episode to our friend, she was like, CKR அவர்லாம் வந்து பெரிய giant நீ என்ன அவர் முன்னாடி உட்கார்ந்து என்ன
That is
interview
true.
yeah, and she said that,
I'm
I was
like, what are you guys going to talk about?
oh,
And we
நீங்க
were
தான்
like,
nervous-ஆ இருக்கிறோம் நீங்க தான் nervous-ஆ இருக்கணும் என்ன கேட்க போற அவர்ட்ட அவர்லாம்
ரொம்ப
like
ஹைப் பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
அதான் சொல்றேன் மாமா இது வரைக்கும் இது நான் ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி வரைக்கும் it was CKR மாமா ஓகே ஜாலியா உட்கார்ந்து பேசலாம் ஒரு manifestation
Yeah.
because we align in that topic
Yeah.
manifestation we are people who believe in it and you're the one adult elder in our family who's constantly told me Anusha manifestation is a thing you have routines you have habits but then when I did the research and then I spoke to people and like you have been a mentor to some
So
big
many
giants
people.
in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, big companies who come and their kids have come and worked for you, interned with you. So
Oh,
that's
now
the
run
question.
successful
So
businesses because
yeah.
they learned from you, Uncle. So how did you have anybody who mentored you? Did you have to learn all these lessons by yourself?
Lot of mentors in the form of books, authors.
Wow. The best
Not
kind
physical,
of
no
mentor.
physical mentors.
Right, right.
Personal transformation mentors, I would say that it's worth mentioning 4 books that made a big difference in my very early stage. The first one I would say is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
I'm going to write this down. I am going to really write this down. I have read that book. Yes.
By Dr. Stephen Covey. That's the first one.
I am writing.
I
How
can
many
see we'll
times
have
I
this
would
on
have,
record.
I read the book, heard the audio cassettes, rewind, backward, so many times, kind of this thing.
Right.
So that I think is one. The next one I would say Atomic Habits. That was also one
Yeah,
more
that was a
powerful.
beautiful
Because
book.
habits setting the first fundamental foundations. It's a
James
very
Clear.
important thing. Yeah. So that is the second one. The third one I would say is 10 Natural Laws of Successful Life and Time Management. Time and Life Management by Dr. Hiram Smith. That's the third one. That's a very powerful book. I think the most profound impact had me on that book,
Okay.
I would say. All books are kind of a thing. I would not say nothing. Everything had an impact on me. You ask me habits number 6 or 7 or 4 or 3, any way I will tell, and how it is applied in personal life, how it is applied in business life, any angle I will talk. And how I applied in business,
Right.
kind of thing, in Stephen Covey's. But in 10 Natural Laws, I would say that I learned 2 things, the governing values, and that's a very important thing.
Okay.
and how I learned the governing values and applied them, how it changed me completely. That's a very important thing. Then the other one I learned is the magic 2.5 hours. So that I think is a very, very important thing. That how Dr. Hiram Smith very clearly suggested, spend 2.5 hours every day for yourself, for your own improvement, and see how you grow over a period of time. That I sincerely took it. So every day morning, 5:30 to 8, that's how I started. Now it's 4:30 to 7:30. It's more nowadays, much more time. So kind of thing. But that's a very important thing. I'll talk about that, how I spend later.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe, okay, how I spend that time, because that will be very useful. And because that I think is a very important. That is, every day I started growing, maybe 0.1 mm, but over a period of 30 years, I think where I am today. Because I would say that that's one of the important advice that has made what I am today. The fourth one I would say is The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz.
Okay.
That's also another one. So till such time, I never used to have targets, nothing. So no targetless, just start doing kind of this thing. Then after that, think anything, mega thinking.
Right.
So the magic starts happening after that.
Right.
So that I think those are the 4 books. There are so many other things I can talk, but I think these are initial, early foundations. This will be very important, I think. But they are timeless.
Right.
This also I would say.
So
And
if
then-
you do not have mentors, then at least surround yourselves with great books, is
books.
what our takeaway is from
Yeah.
this conversation, because not everybody is blessed enough to have people who are invested in you,
That's true.
especially in today's time. People are, whether they are rooting for you, they're definitely waiting for you to lose.
Fall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fall, and like, someone
Yeah.
waiting around the corner to say, I told you so. So
Yeah.
if you do not have a mentor, so
Yeah.
pick up one of those book recommendations which we have, our honorable guest have here, suggest in front of the camera. And please just forget me being so nervous. I've never been this nervous on our own podcast. But yeah, pick up those books. That's
I'm
one good
ordering
thing.
2 of those. I have 2 of those books already, but the last 2 I'm going to order even before
Same.
we leave
Yes.
and get home.
And read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But coming back to your magic hour, Mama, I know you spend that 2 hours. So tell us a little bit about that. How it is very important for that 2 hours.
2.5 hours.
2.5
Yeah.
hours, yes.
Before that, I just wanted to say I was so inspired by how you said you started off with 2.5 hours, and now as you are growing still, you've already established a lot, and you already have something that you can say, okay, now I can relax. But no, you said as I'm growing older, my time has just increased. Now it's about 3 hours. That is so amazing.
I started enjoying it, one.
Right.
And because it is always said, a person is a product of their own thinking. Okay. It's very important.
Yes.
So I think we need to think. One of the important thing I would like to say for any startup, think. Any youngsters, think. The more you think, the more you will become what you want. A person is a product of their own thinking. What you want to be, you have to chisel yourself. You don't think that way, then the world will chisel, or you'll get a very haphazard kind of abstract kind of outcome. So I would say that is a very important thing. I would say how I spend my 2.5 hours time. The fundamental thing is, the first thing is reflection. What went well yesterday? What didn't go well? This is what I sincerely do. That is a very important thing. I do that, okay, these are discussions went off well. Even when I go there tomorrow morning, when I do that, earlier I used to do in the night, but it was not coinciding well. Sometimes you sleep late and kind of thing. It was not setting in well. So your partner will be there disturbing. It doesn't go in. So I said, okay, morning when I go to my own office table, internal house office, then it's nobody is there. I'm happy I can do that. So I do that, okay. This podcast interview, did you do well? Where I fumbled, where I didn't do well. Anusha was tense. Was I also tense? So like that, you understand where I could have done well.
Yes.
So these are very important kind of things. So So that is one I would say as this thing, and that way reflections. Where did I spend more time for that meeting, 1 hour? Otherwise I could have done it in 15 minutes. So have I gone prepared for that meeting? Why the hell I have not gone prepared? So I was the boss for my company. I can go jolly well without preparation, but I learned over a period of time, when I go prepared, I am 10 times far more effective. I move the envelope 10 times more than when I go unprepared. Okay. So therefore it's a habit of going prepared.
Right.
Very important. So therefore that reflection is a very important thing I learned. What to do, what not to do, what to do better and do more, what to avoid. So this is one. So the second thing is what I would say is visualization. What my dream, daydreaming, how I learned with pigeons. I started applying with my company. Whether if I am to build my HR, what should be that kind of thing. If I am to build my finance function, how it is. If I am to build this division, what should be the kind of thing. So anything is built twice in the world. First creation is in the mind, the second is a physical creation. So this is where it's beginning. So the physical, the mental creation is done very vividly. The more vividly we create, I learned over a period of time, the desire and the drive to make it happen automatically comes. The wish is fueled, the fire is engulfed, and you'll go all out to make it happen. So that's why the amazing power is the vivid visualization. So that's what I do every time. I start writing in my OneNotes. My OneNotes is my best friend, kind of this thing. So I start doing it, kind of thing. So I think I'm sure you'll all be using OneNotes, kind of thing. So
We write, we journal,
and
uncle.
physical
We use
book.
the notebook.
I would very strongly recommend change to OneNotes.
Okay. I'll take
On it.
definitely on it.
Move away from digital, move away from
Books.
physical
Okay.
to digital.
Okay.
Because that was a huge. I was also a big fan. I like writing. Okay. Because digital, I'll tell you, 5 years down the line, which book, this thing can you access?
Yes.
That
It
is
will be
true.
somewhere. It will get destroyed. You don't even know. But if you ask me 10 years down the line or 15 years before, where I stored which article, I can access in 30 seconds from my OneNotes.
That's true.
Okay. So that way anything can be organized within a digital diary. Your own handwriting you can do.
Yes.
Right.
You have a digital pen, you are available.
Yeah.
So that I think is a very important thing, consciously, because the power of this thing, you can strike down what you have done.
That's true.
You can do all kind of things. Because I have done like that so many notebooks to do. I'll strike it down and half done, half not done. Later you forget and you don't know kind of this thing what
This is
happened.
at the touch of your hand. Yeah.
So the next one is after the visualization is I look at the kind of this thing in terms of reading management books or personal transformation books. So that's the next one I do. So there what I do is the kind of thing is maybe I will be reading about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but some concepts or something that is appealing kind of this thing, I will start thinking about that as to how to apply it in my life or in my company, and that's very important.
Right.
One of the important things is I will start reading something which is where I wanted to improve, I will read that kind of subject. Okay, that's fundamentally I will select books like that. It's not anything.
Right.
You get a lot of WhatsApp forward.
Right.
Okay, you start reading, you'll feel like very happy kind of this thing.
Yeah.
But that's not to be counted.
Yes.
Okay, actually where you wanted to do something, where you wanted to improve, I think that's very important. I would say that if you read something, if you don't devise any solution to apply it in your life or in your business, let it remain in Google or Amazon. No? Why the hell you kind of thing.
That is very true. That is very true. I've strictly forbidden people from sending me morning forwards. I've told them, you will not get a reply. Do not send it to me. It's a waste of my time. So I relate to that. I relate to that.
So if you read something, if you like something, you don't need to like everything.
Yes.
That
That's
is
true.
also the thing. If you like something, better apply it. So one of the fine thing that I have noticed is, I have learned over a period of time, is also a lot of people like something and they don't strategize to apply it in their life. Okay, that's a very important distinguish. You have to distinguish between liking something, I wish I want to change, or I don't strategize to make it a habit. Okay, so that's why it is always said, New Year resolutions
Yes.
just
Yeah.
goes out
Yes.
in 2 weeks max.
That is true.
Yes, very true. very true.
99% of the time. So for you to kind of think, I think it's important that you make a strategy. I will make a strategy out of it, and I also ensure that it gets into my calendar. I am calendar driven,
Okay.
so I will ensure that it gets into my digital diary. So everything I'll say that if it is calendar driven, it gets into calendar. So automatically it's the kind of thing. So this is next thing I do. Then after that I look at that my calendar, what is the appointment I have for the day, and prepare for the day so that I don't go empty. As a rule, I don't take the mails clearance, WhatsApp clearance in this time.
Okay.
I don't do office works here. Only preparation for the meetings, and which is thinking for that. I have to go prepare for the meeting. So that's a very important thing. The last one I do that is exercise. So it's
Very
also
important.
body.
Important.
kind of thing. So these are the kind of thing. 30 minutes exercise. So these are things I do. So I have been doing that as a, for so many years.
Right.
And I think I don't know any other way to spend my time.
That's the most wonderful
Yeah.
way to spend your time, Mama.
Yeah,
What are you
truly.
talking about? Even before you could talk about it here, we have heard about it from your son. He used to tell us, my dad has thinking time. It's his time. He's up before the world and he does it. And I have never seen him miss it even one day of my life. We've learnt about this. So that brings me to a place where how you are the successful businessman, but you're also a very deeply involved family man too. You are like, you're there for your kids. I've seen it in instances, like you're a loving husband, you're there for your kids. I know you guys do family meetings. I know that because your kids have said that to me. And when we are in any family get together, I remember this one time when Tata passed away, both your daughters were there, and you were checking whether they were going to leave early because it was getting late in the night. It's not like I am a successful businessman. That doesn't mean I'm going to compromise on being a family man, which is one thing that today's people actually say, I can't have it too. I cannot be a successful businessman and a family man, but you have cracked that code. You've actually spent enough time with both the sides of your life. So how does one get to do that? Because that's one thing people always have in their mind. Oh, நான் வந்து business பார்க்கணும்னா எனக்கு ஃபேமிலிக்கு டைம் கிடையாது. I've seen that very often among young people. So what is your advice and your takeaway for our listeners on that front, please?
I was talking about the governing values, 10 natural laws of successful time and life management.
Yes.
So one of the governing values like that, it is a kind of, I am an outstanding husband.
Yes.
I wrote as this thing, okay. I'm an outstanding father,
Yeah.
okay. So when I said outstanding father, initially I said, okay, I'll spend time. You go to movie with them, you take them for dinner, lunch and so on. This is outstanding father. That's not outstanding father. After some time, in my thinking time, I said, this is not outstanding father. Okay, outstanding father means spending quality time. That's very important. So spending and sharing my experience. If I start teaching them values, they'll say, get bored, tired. Always is teaching, advising kind of this thing. So it's better to share my dilemmas, my kind of this thing, what I face today. And through that, I talk about that kind of this thing.
Get
they
them
learn
involved.
more because it's a real slice of life story.
Yes.
Kind of thing. This is what I faced with my colleague today.
That's true.
This is the kind of thing. So that way, I think that they learn and they travel along with me in that kind of thing. They are more interested to learn that kind of stories. So that way, I redefined what is a quality time with my kids. I redefined what is quality time with my spouse. Okay, we fight.
Yes.
Absolutely, husband and wife, we fight. It's
Definitely,
very important.
definitely.
We fight. Okay, but we learned So kind of this thing, okay, how we can forget and move on within 2 minutes time. So the fight is very different and the love and affection is very different.
Yeah.
That maturity we need to constantly remind and move on, otherwise we'll show the anger and kind of thing, keep moving.
True.
So then remind, okay, unconditional love, come on, let's have unconditional love. So this we need to remind constantly. She will say something. So you said, unconditional love, no, what happened? Okay, I stand corrected. So that way I think it moves on kind of this thing, and spending quality time walking and talking about various other mutually interesting kind of this thing. So you start spending, okay, well, this is of interest to you, I'll also learn that kind of thing. Moves on with that kind of.
That's interesting, Uncle. So, with the last couple of answers, you've told us a little bit about what your rituals are usually. But when it comes to business, when it comes to life also, and even for someone who's an aspiring businessman or someone who's building their business, what do you think are the non-negotiables? Like, these are a must you should have as a person. This is what you need to look for. Or this is what you need to keep in mind while you're doing this whole journey of business. What are your non-negotiables?
Values are one thing, what I would say is very important. Otherwise you will succeed by fluke, but you can't sustain.
True.
So very important. The other one I would say that is EQ. Emotional quotient is a very important one. Consciously, I think people who are very good at emotional quotient, if you are to just to, for people who are seeing this, I would say, is two very important things if you look at managing self and managing others, is what about EQ is all about. So managing self has two subsets. One is self-awareness, another one is self-regulation. Okay. Self-regulation, self-awareness is that I am aware that I can't speak English. That is in my own case. Okay. I am aware I am tempted to more sweets. Okay.
Is that your own case?
Actually,
Then all of us are on
So
the
the
same
same
boat.
page.
okay. But I know that's my weakness. I know that's my kind of thing. But I have a strategy to overcome. And that's very important. I have self-regulation.
Right.
My self-regulation is, okay, I said every day I learn 5 English words. Okay. I stopped all my Tamil dailies and said, okay, I will pick up only 5 words from Hindu paper
Right.
and use the Tamil to English dictionary. So, and learn the kind of thing meaning and write in my own water English 5 sentences. Each one 5 sentences. That means 25 sentences I will
Yeah.
write.
Yes.
So, over a period of 2.5 years, I learned over 4,000, 5,000 vocabularies.
Wow.
And I can, initially when I started reading, it was like a bat hanging upside down kind of this thing. I can't understand when reading the headlines, I can't make out anything. But I can now make out contextually, I started making out. Even if they don't understand one word, I can know contextually what's the meaning of that.
Right.
So it was easier as you go forward.
Right.
So that was a commitment to do it every day. Okay. So that is self-regulation, is what I would say. Once you are committed to it, can you do it every day? It's very important. So same way if I do, I am fond of sweets, kind of thing and all. What is that? It comes, if you look at that, it is very important to say, when you are fond of sweets, I will take only one helping
Right.
when I go to a buffet. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And I will not go for the second time. I will not go by the sweet side. Simple. That's a commitment. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
So that if you are committed to that, you
Yeah.
will hold on to it.
Yes.
Right.
So that's the self-regulation.
Right. Right. Right.
So therefore what I do that is, when I wake up in the morning, I go and stand on my weighing balance. The first thing I do every day is standing on my weighing balance. Weighing balance, when it says, okay, today's weight is 73.5 plus or minus 0.5 is my goal. Okay, my health goal.
Right.
If it is 73.5, it is 73.7, I know that, okay, I am going to cut these things. I am going to be well below 73.5 tomorrow morning when I wake. That 15-20 seconds I will stay on the weighing balance.
Right.
Say my resolution on that, what I have to do today in my diets.
Yeah.
And that holds steady for me the whole day.
Yeah.
Today when I stood in the weighing balance, okay, and it told me very clearly that I need to be extra tough on my diet. Therefore, I said, I'll go on a 24-hour fasting. My fasting ends at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
Then we'll let you out soon.
No, that's okay. It's not a problem. I used to fast even 30 hours, 36 hours also.
Right, right,
So
right.
weekly once I take a 24 hours fasting.
Nice.
Okay.
That's amazing. So, coming to that, how do you resist your daughter's baking?
Exactly.
How she makes the most wonderful cakes,
You are
and she
telling
makes
that-
diet cakes
you
also.
are telling that my own office, they do this
Yes,
thing,
yes,
ice
that's
cream and this, that and all. So, okay.
Do you not
Everything.
sample them?
Yesterday I was fasting.
Yes.
Okay. My son came and said, Dad, you have to taste this ice cream and now give me your viewpoints.
Yes.
I said, what? 7 o'clock my fasting ends. No, I have to, you have to give me feedback.
Right,
I said, okay, I broke my fast and gave feedback.
right.
And that's why today I am going on.
Okay, right, right, right.
So, but what? Once in a way, that tasting is fine.
Yes.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there is a difference between you do it for your job,
Yeah.
then you are kind of compromising it for the kind of.
Right.
So, initially I was longing for it.
Yeah.
Now not anymore. So if
Yeah.
you look at that, it is fine. It's okay kind of thing. So because I started. You are telling yourself in terms of affirmations. This is poison. This is poison. Over a period of time, it works on you. Initially, it was not. It was just like a kind of
Yeah.
slogan.
Yeah.
Over a period of time, I think it's very clearly working on me and says that, okay, this is not good, this is not good, this is good. So it's easy for me. If you look at white rice when I say, no, it's poison. It's okay. Automatically,
Yeah.
it's easier for you kind of this thing. Because it's more, I would say it takes about a couple of years. Not easy overnight. I used to look for, initially it was a struggle, it was more willpower I used to apply.
Yeah.
Willpower doesn't last long, I'm telling you. In dieting, willpower doesn't last long. You will give up. Okay. So, but every weekend I look forward to biryani.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be. Not
Give
anymore.
yourself
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Because once the power of my willpower kind of this thing gone away, then you know that this is not good. This is not, I'm not anymore kind of this thing.
Yeah.
Then it's easier. Your mind calms down.
That brings me, like you just told, your son came in and he wanted you to try it. So you have been this person, you told us about this one step, which I am going to look into it, and I'm going to change my way of writing and keep it at my hand, because yesterday it was a long day and I had to put my kids to sleep, and I was like, okay, how am I going to do this gratitude? So I was like, some days you miss it because you have to sit down and physically. When you have it on your phone, I see the sense in it. Maybe I'll jump to that one step. So where it brings me is, have you always reinvented yourself as a parent, as a husband, as a managing director? How does that look for your staff? Because from the research we did find out anybody who works in your office can come and give a good idea, can come and give a good suggestion. So reinventing yourself, upscaling yourself, how does that look for your children, for your staff, and for yourself? So how is it very important to stay relevant in today's world of business or life?
If you are reading more of the current, that will tell you the current trend.
Yes.
And the other one, if you have to look at that also, you think more with that. It's also very important. These two things makes you very current. And you also move more with youngsters. And also discuss more with AI.
Okay.
I didn't see
Okay.
that coming.
Okay. I speak at least a couple of hours with AI every day.
Right,
So I spend a lot of time.
Okay.
I extract best out of AI.
Okay.
right.
So I spend a lot. Earlier I used to, my thinking partner is AI.
Right.
So I have 7 AIs.
Wow.
Okay. So that's, I think I created a council kind of this thing. I work with them. No, very good, very
Right.
important. Because there's a one level of this thing, if you start using them, it is very, very good. But yeah, AI is like an Arabian horse. So a lot of people admire it. They're like, wow, it's gigantic, very shiny, very kind of beauty, all this kind of thing. Very few people have the guts to sit on it and ride and
That's
take
true.
control of it. Okay. And you can't just get carried away by whatever AI says.
Yeah.
You need to see, after all, AI is a creation of human beings.
That's true.
Okay. And you need to have control of that. You are on top of it.
That's true.
So that as if you realize that, I think you have the power to get a lot of things out of that, is my point of view.
That is amazing. Really, I did not expect that AI come in, Mama. That
Yeah.
is reinventing
Yeah.
and upscaling. I am still
Yeah.
like scared and like skeptical about using it. I don't know whether, but this I will take it into account. Yeah,
Right.
that's how you stay on top of it.
Yeah,
and
but so
relevant.
that said, which one of your council members is your favorite one, Uncle?
Grok Heavy.
Okay.
Grok Heavy is one of the favorite. Claude.
Okay. Okay.
Claude, this thing, Opus, I would say.
Okay.
So, quite a lot, but these two are top two,
Okay.
I would say.
Okay. Got it. So, moving on to our next question. What do you think? Most of us dreamers, most of us, who are manifesting big businesses and big brands for themselves, most of us hustlers, we find it difficult to maintain the work-life balance. When I say work-life, I don't just mean family alone. Apart from family, like there are so many other things that we might be interested in, our passions, our hobbies. So when we say, okay, we want to achieve this professionally, sometimes maybe we do not find the time or do not have it in our bandwidth to focus on what makes our life interesting otherwise. What would your advice be when it comes to maintaining a healthy work-life balance?
I would recommend first be calendar driven.
Simple.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
the second thing is time is like a balloon. Okay, but it will not burst. Balloon
Right.
will burst.
Right,
You can make use of, blow it as much as possible.
right,
The only thing that we need to recognize it, can I do, you think this requires 1 hour. Sometime you have to look at that, can I complete it in 15 minutes time, 10 minutes. We learned over a period of time. Normally we sit and discuss, it's half an hour meeting. We say
yeah,
standing meeting 5 minutes, standing
Nice.
minutes 3 minutes. We call it like that.
nice. I like
Come,
that.
people come and prepare and finish it off. They'll go. Okay. Otherwise, what happens is sitting and talking. It's a bad
Yeah.
habit every time. You just keep moving, kind of a thing. So we need to learn to know how to. Does it require so much time to transact?
That's
So
true.
once you are conscious about time, you will start packing more. Then
Right.
another thing I would say that for me, if you look at 6:30, cut. Don't do any of this
Yeah.
thing. Come back. I take phone calls,
Right.
work related. It's not that this thing. After that, my mind is not ready.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's evening means family time,
Right.
kind of this thing. So morning when I come, kind of a thing, I go back and kind of a thing, do that work in my own office and come back, kind of a thing. Then I get ready, go to office and come back. Weekend I spend time with family.
nice.
So that way, at the time, there is a time for family, there is a time for office. kind of
That's
thing.
true.
So those are very important thing, office time and kind of thing. So if sometime family wants to go for, I go for holidays. So we choose mostly I prefer Europe. So we
Right.
go there, Europe, 6 o'clock, I kind of this thing, I sit in my chair. This is 9:30 in India.
Right,
Okay. So the office timing.
yeah,
So we run through kind of thing. By the time the lunch time is here, my breakfast time there.
right,
So we do that break
Plan it
and
Yeah.
we go out.
right.
So
right.
that day over. Half a day I work.
Right,
After we go back for the whole day. That's all. I'm out of this thing.
right.
Nice.
So we are in touch with that kind of thing. So that way I think it's work is also balanced and I can go for 15 days, 20 days also. When I
That's-
come back, there is no pending work also.
Right.
So
Nice.
That's
kind of
nice.
thing. And I think it's important. You give time to work and to family when required. I think you can keep moving. My only this thing is give time. Even when family wants, within office time itself, I'll say, okay, this is the time given. When time
Right.
is locked, means locked.
I learned that in your company, there's no such thing that only the top rung of people need to come up with ideas. Apparently, you encourage the habit of anybody at any stage in your company to give ideas, to come up with innovative ideas or anything that you can act upon. How did you think that was important and how did that come into being?
Because ideas can come from anywhere.
That
That's
is
very important. And best ideas come from grassroots levels. Okay, people
Right.
who are really, the more higher you go, you are out of touch with reality.
True.
The people who are at the grassroots level, who are working on the machines, who are working in the market, is very important. Whenever I go to market, I work in the marketplace. Okay. I don't miss to have lunch with the salesmen who work. Besides my own sales officer, sales managers, all the hierarchies, the salesman is a very important piece. I need to have those salesmen with me to have discussions on the dining table. Okay, that is where I get a lot of ideas. Because if it's easy for me to get my higher up managers and all,
Yeah.
but he will give me very realistic ideas,
Yes.
realistic problems to solve. So that's a very important thing. Plus, I think in the factory levels, anywhere if you look at, the grassroots level problems are the real ones we need to solve.
Right.
Okay, that's the punishment you pay when you go up. Because you are out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
So that is why I said it's important to listen to that, particularly extra years you have to lend to those people who are lower the level, is
Right.
what I feel, that you get best ideas.
Right.
The one thing is what I would say is that we have open house in our company. Every month, first week we have open house. Across all the people participate. They will ask any question. We have close to an hour and a half
Okay.
kind of thing. We are very open company. We tell about what is the company's progress, what kind of this thing, where we did. We discuss very openly about including our profitability, everything.
Right.
So a lot of people think about this is not this secret and this thing.
Yeah,
There is
yeah.
no secret in our company.
Right.
Has
That's
that been
so
your
nice.
strength, Mama?
That's our strength. Transparency is
That
our
is
biggest
so
strength.
nice.
Because the more you hide, the politics breeds.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay, the more you are transparent, the politics is shy away, kind of this thing.
Definitely.
So that kind of thing. The best questions, anybody gives best ideas, best questions, we immediately reward them. We give them
Wow.
Amazon vouchers.
Wow.
Those kind of
Amazing,
things
yeah.
are very important, because that's one way to motivate. and
Yes,
say
they
that-
feel seen,
Yeah, that's correct.
acknowledged.
And say that it's right away implemented.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
very important. So that way I think it's very important we acknowledge that and we recognize, because that kind of ideas is what builds the company.
That is
That's very important.
interesting.
You had a couple of questions that you
so-
wanted to ask.
Okay, so I'll get done first, then I'll hand it over to you for the
Yeah.
last question. So that said, Uncle, what do you think is the secret to building a great team? How would you get the right team, or how would you know to recognize the right person for your team?
So I think it's very important. I would say passionate people are very important in any business. Body language tells you all. You give something, the person, even though they make mistakes, they are willing to correct. Okay, one. And they are genuinely wanting to do it.
Right.
So that kind of thing, if you start identifying, wanting to learn, wanting to improve, wanting to achieve it, I think those kind of people, if you are surrounded with, then I think you'll be able to build a team around. It's
That is
very
true.
important. You can do, there are two ways you can build. One is people who are very experienced only, and they know already they have done the job, they will come and do it. Therefore, they may think very often, I know everything, kind of the syndrome.
Yeah.
The other one is, I know something, but I am willing to learn. I will keep update myself.
Yeah.
I'll put all efforts to learn, but I will do the right thing. So I think that I would encourage people, those who are, even though if they make a mistake, it's okay, but don't repeat the same mistake.
Right.
Learn from that.
Yes.
I'm
Makes
willing to
sense.
tolerate the mistake.
Absolutely.
So that's a very important thing. That way, if you are willing to tolerate a mistake of persons, you will be able to build this thing. But don't tolerate repeated mistake doers.
Right.
Is what I would say. That
Right.
way, you will build a mediocre team.
Right. Makes sense. So that brings me to the last
The
question.
one more thing I thought, the sixth thing, I don't know whether because I cohesively told the 6 stages of entrepreneurship. The one is first the startup hustler.
Yes.
The second one is the survivalist. The third one is a system builder.
Right.
The fourth one is the growth architect. The fifth one is the serial entrepreneur.
Right.
The fifth one is the legacy builder.
Legacy builders.
So I thought I missed the system builder. as
System
well.
builder,
System
yeah,
builder.
that
Yeah,
didn't
that's
sound
what I
familiar.
thought. I
Right.
repeated this thing, growth architect as twice.
Right.
So
right.
I thought that's why I said it.
Right.
We'll
right.
make a note
Thank
of
you.
that for
Yeah.
our trajectory for growth.
Yeah.
That everybody's notes
Yeah.
to be on.
I
it.
am taking notes mentally, and
yes.
I'm going to be revising. I mean, watching this episode on repeat to
Because
be
from the second stage to third, the whole efforts is to build systems and processes.
Yes.
right.
So that they can come out of working in the business to on the
On the
business.
business.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, otherwise, they will not be able to do it. They'll say everything I have to do. Otherwise, people are not able to do the way I do.
Right. Right. So that brings me to the last. Okay, not the last question. Last but one question, Uncle. What gives you hope when you look at the next generation, the younger generation of business people?
You have 3 of them working on with you alongside you.
Yeah.
What gives me hope is their passion.
Right.
Because one thing, any generation to come, if you ask me, okay, the AIs may come next time, the next few decades later, BIs may come, something like that. Okay, new evolution, new technology.
Yeah.
But as long as the human being has passion, the willingness to learn is there, I think that nothing can stop them.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the only hope.
Yes.
If you are passionless, I think you are gone.
Right.
Is what I think.
Right.
So if you don't have an ambition, if you don't have passion, I think you are not there.
Right.
So I would say that the passion the next gen has,
Right.
I think that gives me a lot of hope.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. So I think that
Brings
we're,
us to
we're
the
done.
end of this episode.
Not
but we
yet.
have-
Last question. That's it,
Yes.
and I'm done. I
Please,
promise.
Please, this is we're here to
Keep
pick.
asking,
Yeah,
his
this
don't
I
worry.
just
brain.
improvised on the couch. I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to ask after this conversation. So, Uncle, if you had one word of advice or one small advice for us two peas in a pod
Pod.
team, what would it be?
I would say that is dream big, think,
Yes.
Okay.
spend that 2.5 hours every day,
Okay.
okay, individually
Right.
and collectively.
Okay.
Coming back
Right.
together when you come to the work, then you share your dreams
Right.
and say what you thought through relating to work
Okay.
and what it can be built on, and start implementing that.
Okay.
On it right away.
Amazing.
On it right away from
Yeah.
starting from
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
From today.
Yes.
And go back and say how well you spent time
Yeah.
yesterday. Reflection is very important.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Yes.
Yes.
And where you could have done better. Okay.
Right.
Have you spent the time, whatever time you spent? You said I have spent only 2 hours yesterday for on business. Have you spent very meaningfully? Is what you need to ask.
That's
So the more meaningfully you start spending time, and that would go a long way. Otherwise, you can spend from morning 10 o'clock to evening 5 o'clock and doing very less productive work.
We are
Yeah.
going to take it very seriously.
Very seriously. Thank you so much,
no
Uncle.
Yes. That brings us to rapid fire round, Mama. We have a bunch of 6 questions because in the one question that we wrote, you already answered
Yeah.
books that changed your life. That was
Yeah.
a part of it. So, yeah, we are again. We know the answer. The first thing you do in the morning as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, we won. We've gotten the
The
answer
answer for
already.
that. 2 hours of thinking time.
2.5.
2.5 hours
Now
of
it has
thinking.
become
Which is
3.
now
Yes,
3.
3. Yes. Last thing you do before going to bed.
Movies, movies, some
Yeah.
English movies,
Yeah.
or some end of some climax of some Tamil movies,
Okay.
English
Okay.
movies, something like that.
All dads are the same then. All dads are the same then. Whether a CEO or a lawyer, then because when we come back home, we'll be winding down for the day and we'll go to say goodnight to our dad and he'll be watching some random climax. And Daddy, எப்போ பார்த்தீங்க? பார்த்துட்டு விட்டு வச்சிருக்கேன். நான் முடிச்சிட்டேன். I was like, I'm such busy dads. Yeah.
Always.
So yeah, what is the one small business that you think is killing it right now? A small business that is doing great right now?
Right now, I'm going to kill it.
No, like great right now in the sense they're making a profit in today's world. One business that has impressed you, a small business that has
I'm not
impressed
doing.
you, that you're not doing.
AI chips, Nvidia.
Okay.
Okay.
So that company kind of this thing is
Doing
quite
great.
impressive for me.
Right.
The kind of thing they control the whole world in terms of
Yes.
that. They are giving a lot of technologies. By way of that, they are making a lot of this thing, and I'm also impressed, very highly impressed with technology. This thing like Elon Musk,
Yeah.
whatever he touches,
Yeah, stunning.
he's thinking very different.
Yes,
kind of
yes.
thing. So
That's true.
What are you currently aspiring in your life?
I'm building an enterprise that live beyond me, a legacy
Yes.
that live by its culture. I'm building a culture of the company, so that will stand tall for generations to come. That's what I'm up in my arms.
Yeah.
That's
I think you're definitely doing that, uncle.
Yeah, yeah.
You are.
I think you're building a dream, too good to be true kind of a dream.
But it's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is true.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
you take it away. The next few questions.
What is the one thing you used to value back then, but you don't value anymore?
Then means what? Childhood?
When you
Yes.
started out
Yeah.
childhood, okay, whichever.
Childhood.
Childhood is before my thinking.
Right.
I used to follow the family ritual, the bhajans and the god and other kind of this thing.
Right.
Not anymore.
Interesting.
Not anymore. So
Okay.
I don't. More I think, more I kind of this thing.
Okay.
I think I am completely out of.
Right.
So I started giving reasons for the scientific reasons, more scientific. I belong to the Big Bang Theory guy.
Ah,
Okay.
Right.
So therefore, the reason is the science. I look at the scientific act.
Interesting. So then what is the one thing that you never used to value back then, but you value right now?
Relationship.
Wow,
didn't see
that's
that one
deep.
coming.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very deep. Yes.
That time,
Right.
I used to say, what is this? It doesn't matter, because I was under the shadow of my parents.
Right.
My relatives used to come, I never used to bother about that
Right.
kind of thing. I used to be aloof on my own kind of thing.
Right.
Now I think I take it far more seriously.
That is so nice to know. Very, very nice to know, uncle. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, yes.
That brings us to the end of the rapid fire
Thank
as
you.
well.
And the end of a wonderful episode. It's been one amazing conversation, an inspiring conversation.
Thank you.
We have taken down so many notes, and we're going to change the
Yeah.
way we work starting from today, because you have
Yeah.
always been this one person, even in our family, to talk about manifestation, visualization, and we've heard all about your ritual way before you could come on this couch. So you've always been an inspiration, and I hope this conversation has been inspiration to all of our listeners too. Our
Absolutely.
youngsters who have
And
a
not
great
just when it comes to work, right?
Yeah.
A lot of
Life.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of life, and as a person, how
Yeah.
should you be? How can you be?
what
I
you
think
think
I've
you
learned
become.
a lot. Yeah.
Yes, that's our takeaway from this.
Yeah.
And if you have loved our episode, please, if you love this particular episode, please do share it with a friend. Leave us a comment, leave us a rating. It'll go a long way. We'll be so grateful for it. And thank you so much, CKR Mama, for
Thank
being
you so
on our
much,
couch.
uncle. Your time
No, it's
is
my
precious.
pleasure, and best wishes to both of you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mama.
you
I
so
think
much,
very
uncle.
nice to see youngsters, both of you, are with a lot of enthusiasm, going all the way now, going up to the TEDx.
Yes.
That's
yes.
very, very creditable.
true.
I think
Thank
very nice. It talks
Thank you.
volumes about the kind of passion and the kind of the fine details that you get into. Because otherwise you don't get into that top.
Yes. Yes,
You
Mama.
know, you are into the top league. And best
Means
wishes.
the world
Thank you
to me.
so much,
Means
uncle.
the world
Thank
to
you
us.
so much.
Thank you so
That's
much,
such a
Mama.
big blessing. Those mere
Yes.
words are big blessing. It's
And
a
we're
big
so
blessing.
blessed to start our 2026
Right.
episode. This is our first
First
episode.
guest episode.
Yeah, recording. First episode
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah,
for
that
this
is
year
true.
as well.
Yeah, this is our
And
first
we are just
episode recording.
so honored and privileged and deeply appreciative of your time. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you. My
Thank you,
pleasure.
uncle.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.